All right, what's going on, everybody? So right now I'm looking at GJ, and if anything, I think it's done with this push up that I had to make. So or at least close to it, right? So point A, point B, we see prices literally it halted. I don't know if that's the right word, but it stopped literally at this level right here, the supply and demand zone that was drawn out from over here, based upon the daily, where I saw price was going to go into this 50 to 61.8 range, which is perfect. We got in on a buy here. I got out at 38.2 because I just didn't want to wait for it to get to this 50% range. I got the 100 something pips that I was looking for either way. So I was good off that. Now I'm looking for the continuation of the downside, and the continuation of the downside has been apparent for a long time. Let me actually go to the weekly and be able to show you the real down move. So push down hard, it's way up to create a lower high, and now I think it's going to actually, after this last push up, will be a fast push to the downside, if I'm not mistaken. So let's look at the daily, and it needed to make a lower high on the daily, and I think it's going to continue its way down. And my overall observation is the fact that it's going to go down to 130, to about like 130. If anything, down here to retest this area, to retest this last support area at about 125. So this is my overall push that I'm looking for right here. So once it passes like that monthly area right there. So that's my overall, but for now, right now we're looking at the H4. We see a very, very nice bearish engulfing pattern that's about to close in the next 2 minutes, which is perfect. Very nice bearish candle right there. So let's go to the 2 hour right here. We see this closed right here, and a nice doji that's forming. I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to, after this closes right here, push up to 38.2, which is confluence when it comes to this supply and demand zone right here. And once it gets to this area right here, let me just do a small push up. Small push up right here to 38.2. I see the continuation of the downside in a fast move. And if anything, they'll probably start London session, maybe. But being the fact that London session is not for another about 12 to 13 hours from now, it may push up even further, just consolidate for a long time after New York closes, and then from there push down. So I see price, continuing to 38.2. I probably to 50%. Let me put this on. Let me see. Yeah, definitely 38.2. 38.2 to the T. And from there, continuation to the downside. But that's just my observation, and mostly because let's do this. And if anything, you do a checklist. What way is the river flowing on the weekly or the daily, right? So we see the river is flowing to the downside, right? Weekly, daily, flowing to the downside. Now, for our H4, what pattern is forming now? What pattern is forming? Well, we see that point A, point B, price is getting to this. It already passed 38.2. Let me take this off here and take that off there. Price got to 50% to the T. It got to this supply and demand zone that was drawn. Right, got to the supply and demand zone that was drawn, and then from there we see an engulfing pattern that just closed, which is perfect. And then from there I see it continuing down to this 140.8 area, which is my monthly. And let's see our actual strike. We see two very nice bearish engulfing patterns, and we see it doing this last push up this area, most likely failing around here. And let's go down to the 15-minute for our actual strike. Once it fails, if it fails, actually, this here, around this 38.2 range, probably 50%. We're going to find our first bearish engulfing pattern and then have that close. And then from there, if anything, another one and the continuation to the downside. I think the best thing to do would be to wait till it passes this area right here. Passes this area right here, and then continuating, or if anything, getting in at the highest point, and just making your risk above this area right here. If anything, make it a good amount of pips, because with pairs like this, from time to time, there may be like a strong wick that will form and knock you out, just like something like this, right? Knock you out of your trade. So if anything, make it probably like make your risk to a little higher. I'm not going to give you an actual number, but a little higher than this point right there, and I think you'll be good money. If it hits that, cool. Look for another opportunity. But I see this being the end of this push up for GJ, and I think it'll be a strong push to the downside from there. So greatly appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next chart breakdown. And go ahead and subscribe, like, comment if you have any questions or anything like that. Anybody that subscribes is actually going to get an opportunity in the next couple of days to do a one-on-one with me. There'll be 5 lucky people to be able to get that. So really appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next CBD. Actually, let's see you in the next CBD.